Hi, welcome back to Joe's RC Corner, and today we're going to start working on the Sonic binary. I've already went ahead and primed and painted the fuselage and the tail feathers. I've already wet sanded them, and they're looking pretty good. But we are going to go ahead and do the wing. We're going to paint the wing today, get that to dry, and so that way we can start working on that as well. So one of the other things that I was thinking about doing, and it's still up in the air on whether I'm going to or not, but I'm looking at maybe making a scale windscreen on the front of this rather than having this whole thing black. But I'm going back and forth on whether I want to really do this. If I can get the trim paint or the trim tape to do what I want it to do, I may go ahead and do this. If not, may just go ahead and leave it all black and go ahead and glue this in place and get it finished trimming. And so we're going to go ahead and put this up on a time lapse and get started on that, okay? So let's get started. Okay guys, so I'm back. So from the time lapse, I think you guys could see pretty close to what I was doing. But we're going to go ahead and peel off the paint now, or the masking tape, and see what we got here on the canopy. Let's take a quick look here at this and see how that came out, how the paint lines came out. There we go. Get all these paint pieces off. Let's pull this. Not too much. Let's grab the canopy bottom of the hatch here. Slide that in place. Let's take a look, see how that looks. All right, and let's look at one of the military ones in here in the picture. Get my mouse working here. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks pretty darn good. I think we captured what we're trying to capture. What do you guys think? I think that looks pretty darn good. So that's what we're going to go with. I'm going to clean up a little bit of the paint here along the top edge here with a little bit of denatured alcohol and get these edges cleaned up a little bit. Then I got to just clean up the way this fits. And then I think we're going to go ahead and glue that on in place and let it stay there. I'm not going to be taking it on and off. I'm not doing an FPV airplane, so I think this is going to look nice once it's glued on and glued in place, and it'll look really good. I like it. I really do like that. So I need to fix a couple of these spots here, and we'll move on. What I'm going to be using to glue this panel on is my Canopy glue here. So we're going to take this off the airframe. We're going to put a bead around this. Okay, and then what I'm going to use to hold on the edges that are not being held on very well, I have a bag of elastics here. We're going to clamp this back edge down. I'm going to wipe off some of the excess here first. And this Canopy glue will stay flexible, and it will also dry clear. But that doesn't mean we want tons of excess around here. Okay, so we'll let that dry. The rest of that looks like it's holding down pretty good with the magnets. So we'll set that aside and let that dry. All right, now let's move our attention over to the wings. We'll move the fuselage out of the way. We're going to turn our attention to one of the wing panels here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some of that wet sandpaper here, which I have right over here. We're going to wet that up again. We're going to do just a quick, just to get any of the burrs and stuff off of the paint here. Let's get that cleaned up. Okay, so there you go. Nice even gray on both wings now. So those look really good. I'm really happy with that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is making some water slide decals for this aircraft. I'm going to get those applied. Also going to do a little bit of touch up on the fuselage with the gray. There were some spots that were a little bit thin on there, and we're going to cut out all of the white panels that are designed to cover up where the servos go. So that way it's all gray, it all blends in, and then we'll do a spray of the water-based polyurethane. And I bought the spray version this time. I wanted to see how that worked. It's a satin finish because I don't want something that's really shiny. And then we'll start doing the install. Okay, everybody, so I apologize for some footage of putting this thing together is out of it, but is not included in there. However, the final construction of this aircraft is pretty darn simple. I just really wanted to touch base on how to turn an FPV only model into a scale, standoff scale aircraft, which is what you see here in front of you. Like I said, I thought the aircraft looked very similar to Tecnam P2006, which is a twin Rotax twin engine airplane. Some military forces overseas use it. However, I went with the U.S. Air Force livery, specifically the Air Mobility Command. So I got made up my own decals for it. I do have my legal FAA registration number on here, so I'm all set and legal in the United States to fly. But just a quick overview. So what I did is we spray painted the whole thing with the Rust-Oleum primer, gray. It's the filler primer. And then I did a wet sand over the whole aircraft, made up the decals, also utilized some of their decals as well, for instance, for the de-icing boots here on the aircraft. And went ahead and put those on there. And we installed all of the light kit, which I will show you operations here. They recommend to put it on a 3-position switch is what I did. If I can remember which one I put it, there it is. So there's the 3-position switch. So this is the nav lights and the tail beacon. And then one more and you get the landing lights up here on the leading edge. They look really cool. I can't wait to see this at dusk. Doing some flights. I went ahead and closed up this canopy to make it look more like a regular canopy or windscreen and door windows that are on the Tecnam 2006T. So I went ahead and added those. But yeah, so other than that, that's really all it is. You make up the decals, you put those on, and then what I used for the clear coat this time, because of a foam model, I have this here. I do like that water-based polyurethane for fiberglass and things like that, but this added a nice feature, a nice scratch-resistant coating. It's the Varathane Ultimate Polyurethane, and it's a water-based polyurethane. Comes in a spray can. Who knew? But it works really nice. I got it in the semi-gloss, so it gave it just a nice matte finish on here. I did go ahead and go over the LED light pocket or clear piece on here as well. That way it kind of diffuses it a little bit. I do have some minor setup issues I still got to finish up here. For instance, I got to adjust the ailerons and the elevator and rudder to make sure they're straight. Double check my CG, and a lot of people say they can run this aircraft on a 4S 5,000 milliamp battery pack. I got a couple of those, so I'm going to go ahead and try one of those in this aircraft, see how it works and see how it balances. Given that I don't have a lot of extra equipment in the back of this plane, I'm not sure. We'll see. But other than that, it looks great. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was a day build. Flaps and everything, man. This is a really nice model. So, all right, well, that's all I have for today on Joe's RC Corner. Remember, visit my Teespring store. Go ahead and purchase a t-shirt. Help support the channel. I have another build coming up that's going to be a little bit more of a timeline series, which will be I believe it's the Colt from SIG. That should be a nice little airplane to build. I'm going to be building it for a friend. He should be back here pretty soon, and we'll be able to start working on that. I also have a couple other kits that are coming up down the line, so definitely keep an eye out for it. And that's all I have. So thanks for joining me today. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are already subscribers, thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Keep building, keep flying, guys.